Hello and welcome back to the Pittsburgh Sports Report. And for the final game of the week, for the U.S. Steel Game of the Week series, we head to West Mifflin as they face rivals Thomas Jefferson for first place in the Big Nine Conference. Let's head to the action.
In Week 9, we headed to West Mifflin for our U.S. Steel Game of the Week. Before the game, Pittsburgh Sports Report very own Nick Frost handed off a $150 check to Athletic Director of West Mifflin, Scott Stevenson. In our U.S. Steel Game of the Week matchup, we have Michigan-bound Chase Winovich up against Jimmy Wheeler, who also had many looks from Division I schools.
Before the game started, you could really feel the hate and the rivalry between the two schools, with signs decorating their hatred for one another, including an overrated sign for Chase in the West Mifflin student section. But Thomas Jefferson's jungle traveled as the student section's presence was felt throughout the game. In the first drive, West Mifflin drove about 20 yards down the field, and on third down, she just couldn't hold on to the ball and refused to punt away Thomas Jefferson, who then took advantage of this opportunity and with Chase's arm fires to Dalton Dietrich for a 25-yard gain. But Chase also showed his footwork here as he ran around and threw a couple of West Mifflin defenders before finally being taken down inside the 30-yard line. Later on in the drive, Chase had to finish it off once again with another run, right up the middle this time, and threw a couple of defenders into the end zone. After the score and extra point, Thomas Jefferson was up 7-0. And the student section didn't know how true those words were throughout the game.
Throughout the game, Jimmy Wheeler just trying to get some momentum going, but just continuously stopped by the Thomas Jefferson defense. And it was clearly the Chase Winovich show tonight as he breaks some more tackles and heads right into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. And after the extra point, it's 14-0 Thomas Jefferson. And Thomas Jefferson's defense not only stopped in the running game, but also the passing game, as they put a ton of pressure on Carlin Garner throughout the night.
And senior wide receiver Dalton Dietrich makes a heck of a grab right near the sidelines as the TJ team continues to drive down the field. Fortunately, the drive comes up empty. West Mifflin trying to capitalize on that scoreless drive and continues to drive down the field up until this point where penalties and another sack ends the drive and the half. And yes, you guessed it, Chase Winovich was the guy who came down with the sack. At halftime, 14-0 Jaguars. And the start of the second half just continued like the first, as Chase Winovich continued to run through and around defenders. And Chase did just about everything on this play, spinning, stiff-arming, and getting just short of the end zone. But that didn't stop him from finishing the drive with a QB sneak right up the middle for another touchdown. And that was his third of the game. Thomas Jefferson now 21-0 and a couple more scores left.
And here's Chase Winovich with his final score of the night, making the final score 35-0 Jaguars. This win not only brought first place for the Jaguars, but also brought head coach Bill Cherpacker's 200th career win. Congrats, Coach. We were able to talk to U.S. Steel player of the game, Chase Winovich, and this is what he had to say about his legacy here at Thomas Jefferson.
You know, I followed behind my brother's legacy. I was just telling my quarterback huddle before the game. I said my brother's sophomore year, they're losing at the end of the game. They drive down the end of the field. The one player, Nate Sterrick, he breaks his forearm. He says, "I'm good to go, coach." He goes back in the game, catches the ball, runs down the field for 50 yards. My brother throws a touchdown pass to Duke Austin. They win the game. And I said, that's tradition. I said every single play, it's a battle to the death. And I said that's what we got to do if we're going to be successful. And I think from our linemen to our linebackers to our defensive back and every single player, even the water boys, I think everybody gave 100%, and that's what it took.
And thank you for joining us for the 2013 U.S. Steel Game of the Week series. And do not forget to keep following the Pittsburgh Sports Report as they continue to cover the local Pittsburgh sports.